My name is Torino Valdovinos. I'm the Assistant Chief of Police here at the Oceanside Police Department. Earlier today, this morning, at just after 1:40 a.m., our officers responded to a call of a plane that had made an emergency landing on State Route 76 and Canyon, eastbound State Route 76 and Canyon. Upon arrival, officers came across two individuals, and during the investigation, they observed one of the individuals discard a backpack into nearby brush, which obviously raised concern to one of the officers. The individuals were detained, and during the subsequent investigation, a small amount of cocaine was located on one of the passengers of the plane. And then the subsequent investigation to that revealed approximately 1 kilo of suspected cocaine in the backpack that was discarded. The two individuals have been booked into county jail on narcotics transportation charges, and they have been identified as 21-year-old Gabriel Bright, that's B-R-E-I-T, and 36-year-old Troy Smith, both from Oceanside. Now, the investigation has been handed over to the North County Narcotics Task Force, which is made up of local, state, and federal agencies, which we are a part of.
So the amount that you found in the backpack, that was the only drugs you found other than on the one guy that was there? You didn't find anything else further in the plane?
Correct.
And then who was the pilot and who was the passenger?
From my understanding, the 21-year-old Gabriel Bright was the pilot, and 36-year-old Troy Smith was the passenger.
And the backpack. Yeah, were they renting the plane as far as you know?
One question at a time. I believe Smith was the passenger, and we do believe that the plane was a rental, yes.
Who had the backpack?
Smith.
And do we have any idea at this point if this was like an ongoing thing? I know it's pretty early in this investigation, but do you have any indication at this part that this was not the first time they've taken part in something like this?
We have no information to lead us to believe in either direction at this point.
Are they friends, related?
We don't have that information yet, as of yet.
Was the plane arriving, or was it departing?
We believe the plane was arriving, and we believe it was arriving from Phoenix. That is the information that we have thus far.
Heading here?
Correct.
And do we know, as far as, I don't know, I forgot. Keep going.
Did it appear they ran out of gas? Is that what, can you tell us what they said?
So the initial call for service came in as they were having engine malfunction. So we're not sure if it was an actual engine malfunction or if they ran out of gas.
What about the owner of the plane? Have you guys been in contact with him, and do we believe that he's involved in any of this?
No information on that as of now.
What's the value of a kilo, and do you think they're bringing it back here? Do you think they brought it from Arizona to sell, or what?
Well, I would just be guessing at this point. I haven't been in the anti-drug business in a while. I'm not real sure what the street value of a kilo is, but obviously a kilo is pretty, I don't know, what would you say? Expensive, you know, and can bring in a lot of money for sure.
Do they have any previous records? The two, and it was both men, right? Two men.
It's two men.
Any previous records?
Not that I know of.
How much does a kilo weigh in pounds?
2.2 pounds, just over.
Do you know if these two guys has like a criminal record?
I do not have that information.
You said you responded to an emergency call. Did they call it in, like we've got engine failure, or are you talking about like the fire department radio emergency call?
No, the pilot did call it in, yes.
And was this a good observation by a police officer? Because I'm thinking, is it typical you would search a plane? Or was it just the observation of him seeing him throw something that kind of sparked the investigative part of it?
Yeah, it's my understanding that that's what triggered the officers to detain the individuals.
And it was all in the backpack, all the drugs, right?
Correct.
And then nothing.
Except for the small amount that were on Mr. Smith.
Were they behaving in any other strange way that would lead them to be suspicious, or?
Not that I know of.
Is the DEA involved, or anyone other agencies involved?
Yes, the North County Narcotics Task Force is made up of other agencies, state, local, federal, and that includes the DEA.
It's kind of a repeat question, but do you have any idea where the drugs came from? Like, where did they go to Mexico and then come in, or they have any idea?
We have no information that lead us to believe it came from
Does
Mexico,
the
but we don't
OPD
know.
have any thoughts on the fact that this is the only airport, I think, in the Southland where you can land any time of the day It's generally, I think, unregulated, and there's not even a tower there. And it seems like the wild, wild west, anything goes. I just wanted to know if the OPD had any thoughts on that going forward.
As it relates to airports and as far as regulations and standards and when planes land and when they take off, or towers, that's not something that we get involved with. That's for the FAA to figure that part out.
Yeah.
Have there been previous examples of drugs discovered, anything similar to this at this airport?
Not to our knowledge, I don't have any information of anything that has occurred recently, like what happened this morning.
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of anything like this occurring before here.
So I think we can do one or two questions and then
I was just going to say, obviously, this isn't something that happens every day. First of all, you don't see a plane landing on the freeway making an emergency landing, and then to find drugs on top of it. I mean, can you talk at all about just kind of how unusual the situation is? And obviously, with some good officers too that helped the situation out.
Well, I can speak as a former narcotics officer, and I can tell you that it doesn't surprise me. I think we have narcotics coming into our country in various ways. I think the surprising part is the emergency landing and how we came across it.
Excuse me if I missed it, but what time of day happened?
Just after 1:40 a.m.
So it's dark.
Yes.
And what time the plane was taken off from the 76?
What time did we remove it?
Yes.
Oh, that was, God, maybe 2 hours ago. Yeah. It took a while. We're not used to towing planes, so it took a while to find, an agency that has the capacity to remove the plane.
Was there any close calls on the ground, or was there literally no traffic?
From what I understand, there was no traffic and there were no close calls.
Where are the narcotics now? Where are the narcotics now?
Where are they at?
Where were they taken? Are they with the task force?
Yes, our task force officer took the narcotics with him. Yes.
And are any federal agencies other than the FAA involved?
DEA, FBI, they're all a part of the task force.
Has the plane been searched for more drugs at all?
Yes, it was searched and there were no other drugs located.
We'll take a couple more questions.
As a department, have you noticed an increase or uptick at all in drug-related incidents?
Not any more than usual.
No.
What kind of charges are these guys facing, and do you think it'll just be state charges, or you anticipate federal as well?
I would anticipate federal, but who knows? Again, we're going to leave that up to the task force to handle.
Is it two separate investigations, the FAA and then this joint task force, or how would you characterize the?
I would imagine so. I think the FAA does their own investigation, and then the task force will do its own parallel.
I think you answered a similar question before, but just to be clear, do you have any belief that these two have done something similar before?
Not to our knowledge.
So we just want to thank all you guys for coming out today. Hopefully we were able to provide you with some information to clear up our investigation. And if we get additional information, we'll be sure to share that with you and our community. So thank you all.